Hi, welcome to Hospitality at Home. I'm your teacher, Miss Budgel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make one of Gordon Ramsay's favorites, risotto. I'll be making a vegan risotto at home because I enjoy vegan cooking. However, you can sub in ingredients that meet your own dietary restrictions. The ingredients that I'll be working with today are, of course, arborio rice. This is the kind of rice that is best suited for a risotto. Vegetable broth, salt and pepper, onion, vegan parmesan, and garlic. The tools that I'll be using today are fairly straightforward. I'll be using a cutting board and my chef's knife, a heat-resistant rubber spatula, and a large saute pan with lid. Forgot to mention, I'll also be using some olive oil just to put into the pan, and then some parsley at the end for garnish. So we're going to start by putting our pan on a medium-high heat. Then we're going to add in the olive oil and the diced onion. So now I've got my onions sauteing over a medium-high heat. And while that is working away, I'm going to heat my veggie broth up to boiling. That'll become important in a few minutes. Well, my onions are starting to cook and my veggie broth is coming up to temperature. I'm gonna wash my knife and my cutting board because cleaning as you go is the only way to go. In a few minutes, my onions are starting to sweat and get translucent, so my next step will be to add some minced garlic. I like a lot of garlic, so here we go. And then just mix it around the pan. And do not let this stuff burn. Now that the onions and the garlic are looking good, you're going to add your arborio rice to the pan just like this. Then you're going to give it about a minute and just mix it in with the onions and the goodness. Then after 1 minute, you're going to start adding your liquids. So if you were at a fancy restaurant, you could throw some white wine into the mix. Otherwise, you're going to take that veggie broth that we heated up and add that to the rice. And you're only going to add it about a cup, 3/4 of a cup at a time. Because it's hot, it won't bring down the temperature and stop the cooking. It'll actually speed it up. And from this point on, it's just a matter of keeping the rice hot and adding liquid as it absorbs. So when your rice starts to look like this, and there doesn't seem to be too much liquid in the pan, that is when you want to add more of your heated veggie broth. Again, because the veggie broth is hot, it won't take long for it to get back to boiling again. You can see it's already boiling. And then you just want to keep stirring. Risotto is a beautiful, delicious, creamy rice dish, but it does take a lot of attention. You do need to keep stirring and keep an eye on it. The trick to good risotto is it takes a long time to cook, and you'd never want to turn the heat up too high. You don't want to see your rice sticking to the bottom of the pan. You don't want to see any black or brown bits. So again, keep the heat on medium-high to medium, and slowly just keep adding the broth as you need to. So at this stage, we've added the entire carton of veggie broth, and you can see that the rice is starting to get a lot thicker. You scrape it away from the pan, it's taking longer to get away. So we're just gonna let the rest of this broth absorb. And the best way to tell if it's ready is just to do a simple taste test. If the rice still feels hard or crunchy, it needs some more liquid. I would advise against adding any more veggie stock. It's got a high salt content, and while salt does equal flavor, we want this to be edible. So from here on out, if I need any more liquid, I'm just gonna add some hot water. So now that my rice has absorbed just about all of the liquid, and when you take a bite, it is tender to touch, we're gonna turn off the heat. And this is the point where I like to add the cheese. Again, I'm using a vegan parmesan because I like to cook vegan in my home, but you can use any kind of cheese you like. We're going to fold in the cheese, and the heat from the rice will melt the cheese and make for a lovely, beautiful, cheesy dish. And you really just want to taste until you get to the level that you want it to be. And after folding in the parsley and the black pepper, you have a beautiful, creamy, cheesy risotto. And here we have risotto as part of our dinner. We're serving with fresh green beans and some fake chicken. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bon appetit!